Afternoon, guys. I want to firstly just say a huge thank you for all the engagement that I've received over my past two videos that I've made, both on TikTok and on YouTube. The likes, comments, and subscriptions really do mean a lot. Like I say, I'm just starting out in this, so any engagement and support goes a long way. So thank you for that. I'm going to jump into today's topic, which is motivation within a job. And anyone that's already on social media will know that motivation is a funny concept, because it's something that a lot of people lack, including myself. But I think we're starting to learn that we can't rely on motivation, whether that's goal setting, for example, or whether it is in the workplace. It's something that you kind of, either you do have it or you don't. And if you don't, like the majority of people, it's something that you kind of got to almost find from within, or something you've got to try and sustain long term. I've always, well, not always, it depends on the job really, but I've often struggled to maintain motivation within a job role, and that's often led to me then suffering as a result, and then my work suffers as a result, which can then have knock-on effects on everyone else. I just want to know if you guys have got any thoughts on this. You know, if you're in a job that you really enjoy, do you still struggle with motivation, or does the fact that you enjoy the job mean that you don't really have to be motivated anyway? You just turn up and you're happy to be at work, and you feel motivated to be there. If you're in a job that you don't love, or you're on the fence, so you don't really love it or you don't really hate it, how do you stay motivated? How do you not let the negatives of your job kind of overcome you? Because that's when problems start to happen, is when you lose motivation and then you start dreading going to work. Sunday becomes the worst day of the week. It's no coincidence that I'm filming this on a Sunday. And then life then becomes difficult. So I guess the main question is, how do you guys out there deal with not enjoying or not being motivated to do your job? Obviously, from an employer or boss's standpoint, you should be motivated to do your job whether you feel like it or not. But we're not necessarily talking from their perspective. We're talking from our perspective, my perspective, the person that's kind of just starting out in their career. How do you guys process work so that you can still turn up every day, get the job done, and not let the lack of motivation and all the negative worries and anxiety overcome you and start eating you up? Because that's when life can become really miserable. You know, we spend the majority of our lives at work, usually at least 5 days a week, at least 8 hours a day. And so to be in a position where there's something about it, or there's something about the company or the environment or job role that makes you feel unmotivated and crap, basically, how do you guys cope with that? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, and as always, all the engagement and support is massively appreciated. So I'll be putting this on the TikToks and on the YouTubes. And yeah, I look forward to hearing to some feedback. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.